Wow, the back half of Agatha All Along was honestly far better than it has any need to be. My name is AK with the Popcorn Perspective, and we're gonna go over the second half of Agatha All Along. I'm joined here with Jay. What did you think about it?
Yeah, so this series has actually gradually gotten better, and I
Hmm.
think episode 7 and 8 probably are the strongest Marvel TV show I have seen in a
Yeah,
very long
I
time, if not ever.
yeah no, I definitely agree. Dare I say this might be one of the best MCU shows we've gotten?
I think Loki still takes it for me, but this is
Yeah,
really good.
I would say I might need to rewatch Moon Knight because I definitely loved Moon Knight a lot, but
Yeah,
this was so well written from start to finish. What I like about this show is you could tell they knew where they want to end.
right.
They had an end goal in mind, and I feel like a lot of MCU shows don't have an end goal. Their goal is we're going to set up something for 5 years down the line, and I'm like, okay, it's been like 5 years since we had a Hawkeye and Winter Soldier show. Like, come on, let's see what happens. I know we're getting it next year, but I'm like, it took so long to get a resolution. So I'm glad this show had a goal in mind.
Yeah, no, I really liked it. Also, likable characters,
Very.
A lot of times they try to create these really big budget shows, spend all this money, make it the CGI mind boggling disaster,
Yeah.
and they forget about the core component likable characters. There were so many likable characters in here, man. And it
Did
sucks
you
seeing some of these
did you
people
realize
die.
though that yeah. But did you realize this was apparently the lowest budget Disney Plus TV show for the
No way,
MCU?
seriously?
Yeah. It's the cheapest MCU show, and it's arguably in the top three, top four MCU shows.
You
Like I,
sure
I
that Secret Invasion wasn't the cheapest?
apparently that was like the most expensive or one of the most
Oh dear
expensive.
God.
Did you not see what the money went to? Because
No.
I didn't.
Emily Clark in
Yeah,
that last battle at the end, that was so
that was the
trash.
dumbest with her hand changing to. I'm like, did we need to have an like ultra powerful? Okay, I'm not getting onto the Secret
Yeah, yeah,
Invasion
yeah,
bullshit.
yeah.
That never happened.
Yes.
Uh, One last thing, Secret Invasion. If you watch the Marvels, which I actually enjoyed that as a movie, it was a cute movie. They did not mention one thing about Secret Invasion, and it was a direct continuation of Secret Invasion. They're like, yeah. That movie sucked. Whatever happened did not happen.
I,
We continue.
man. Yeah,
Yeah, but
that's.
yeah, but no, yeah. The second half of the season definitely went from like so. The first half I would say is probably like a 6.5, 7 out of 10.
Mhm.
The last half was like an 8.5 out of 10. Like every
Yeah, I
episode
can see that.
hit harder. So we start off with like the whole Lilia backstory.
Yeah.
That was so dramatic and that was so well written.
The way they played with time and the way she was experiencing time as non-linear was done really well. And I really appreciate that approach.
Yeah, it felt like a tragedy. It felt like a Greek
Yeah.
tragedy. It was it did not like they did not need to go so hard on a side character that we only had 3 or 4 episodes in for
I'm
MCU
still
show or
secretly
even just
hoping
MCU
she's
in
alive. I love the
yeah, because
character.
for MCU show Lilia, a character that let's be real, I had no idea was a character. Why did they make her into such a? I want, like you said, I want more of her. Like
Yeah,
that's good. That's good writing.
very good writing.
Yeah. The only complaint I have with Agatha All Along, though, is the episode length. Like, imagine the Lilia episode was 40, 45 minutes long versus
Yeah,
28, 30 minutes.
yeah.
Um, but that same episode, we had the reveal of Death, who Aubrey Plaza's character was. That was a fantastic reveal, and I gotta say, if that's how Death looks,
I'm gonna welcome death with open arms.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, she can take me. And if I get that kiss of death,
Mm.
even better.
Yeah, no, the
Yeah.
way they did death was really well, and also towards the end, I think episode 8, where we see the face where she can either show her beautiful face or the death face. I thought that was a really
That
good use of
transition.
CGI. Yeah.
No, that was practical. Are people so it's on Twitter, Disney or some MCU account or whatever posted, but Aubrey Plaza actually had all that makeup to make her into that
Oh,
skeleton.
snap. That's why
That's
it looks so
practical.
good. It looks
Yeah.
so good.
And I'm like, why? And that's where the money, like, that's why it's such a cheap show. Most of
Yeah.
the show was done practical. Like, most of the sets was built versus CGI and animation and all that fun stuff. That's why it looks so good.
Yeah. It is a very good looking show, and the
Yeah.
story is very compelling, and the characters are very likable. This is a way you do shows.
Mm-hmm.
Please, Marvel,
Agreed.
learn from this and do more of this.
Mm-hmm. Because even though you and I had our issues with Echo, it also was a very beautiful looking show. It was shot really well, and it was also a very, very cheap show. And I
It's just
think,
bad story though.
I don't
It
think it was a
the
bad story. I think it
characters
was
are
bad
not that
pacing.
likable.
I
I
just
don't
think
know,
the
man. I
pacing.
had a lot of issues
Yeah.
with that show.
No, but I'm talking about like just how it looked, how it was directed,
Yeah,
and the visuals. The writing and pacing definitely dragged a lot, but for a show with a very small budget with characters that, let's be real, we didn't know anything about, it was shot so beautifully. Both shows, and I hope MCU learns like this is how TV shows needs to be looked. Like
you're right.
you don't need to spend all your budget, all the CGI, and all the heavy animations and all that for a MCU show. We're okay with these grounded, practical effects, very realistic looking shows because they have a lot of character to them.
Right. Yeah, it really goes back to the principle of comic books in a sense. The
Yeah,
ideas are grand, not necessarily the visualization.
because a lot of comic books are very grounded. Hell, a lot of
Yeah.
Spider-Man stuff. Obviously, you have the Green Goblin, or you do have a little
Hmm.
Fantastic Four stuff mixed in. But for the most part, it's very like the street level stuff. Daredevil as well. It's very
Right.
grounded, but they have a lot of mysticism within them. Agatha is not grounded. It's very witchcraft and all that, but it feels
Right.
very grounded somehow.
It's done really well, and
Yeah.
we have four characters that make it to the end of the
Hmm.
Witch's Road, and that is Billy Maximoff, and I
Hmm.
thought his characterization was done really well. Did you have any notes on him?
Um, I like the character a lot. The only issue I might have had with him, I don't believe he earned his suit that quickly.
I completely
You
agree with that. Yeah,
usually with superhero shows or movies, you earn the outfit, and it's a pretty cool looking outfit. But we never saw him actually gain any equipment to get that outfit. He just immediately had that outfit on, and I was like, I kind of wanted you to maybe have a scene of you building the outfit, making the outfit, or maybe using magic to create the outfit. At least show us how you got the outfit because it felt it was unearned.
or his control of his abilities came too quickly because that was
Yeah,
never his journey. His journey was to find Tommy. So
yeah,
that part didn't exactly make sense to me. Either way, I thought they characterized him really well.
very well. And the actor Joel Locke, is that his name? Fantastic. He killed it as Billy Maximoff or William Kaplan, and I really want to see more of him. One thing I want to about Billy. Do you think did Billy kill the drowning kid to save Tommy, or was that kid doomed to die, regardless of Billy's
I
interference?
I don't believe he was gonna die. Sorry, I don't believe Billy had anything to do with that because
Hmm.
he was looking for Tommy, and my assumption is Tommy's soul found a being,
Somebody who is.
and that could have been done in the past, not necessarily current.
Oh, so you think this might have been done in the past, the drowning kid?
Could have, yeah.
Hmm.
What's to say couldn't have?
I feel like that would kind of mess with the whole timey, loopy thing that MCU has already established via Endgame and the
Okay.
whole Kang and Loki stuff that you can't change the past. So I feel like you can definitely import your soul into a dying person's body as it's presently happening, but I don't think he can
Hmm.
impact what happened in the past.
Okay. Okay. I
But it
thought it
is
was more like
magic.
a
So,
Hordor kind of thing.
oh, okay. From my understanding, the way Agatha made it sound like and Rio as well, the biggest reason why they wanted Billy to die is Billy was holding the soul of him and his brother,
I
which
see. Okay.
means he stole two souls from death,
Okay.
his soul and his brother's. So when Agatha allowed him to release his second soul, his Tommy's soul, into another body, that's him. That's where that body came from, and that's why I believe he might have stolen a life. That kid may have died or may have lived in the drowning, but he kind of stole that kid's life. But at the same time, I think he gave that kid a future. That kid,
Okay.
yeah, if that makes sense. Just like the same way William would have died in the car crash, but
Right.
Billy's essence came and clinged on and
Came
gave
in
him
Jan.
life.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah,
think.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Another character we get surviving the road
Hmm.
is Jennifer Kale. So we'll definitely get to see a lot more of her in the MCU, I feel.
I hope so. So she is the only witch who survived the witch's road who still believes the road was real, which is hilarious but also sad. I feel so bad for the Jennifer character because she lost her magic for almost 100 years, only to get her magic back. And now she's going to believe the reason why she got her magic back was because she went through the horrible journey of the witch's road. It's so sad. Like she's going to be gaslit into believing that the road is the answer to all.
I think they could play that off as a very funny comical thing because she could try to reopen it to help another coven and it's just like
Exactly.
not working.
But I don't think it's going to be comical. I think it's going to be very traumatic. I
Oh, is
think
it? Okay.
I think so. She saw how Lilia went out of her way to save the coven, so she's going to go out of her way to help save other covens now. I feel like that's going to be her goal is to help other
Hmm.
covens gain their old abilities or gain what they've lost in the past.
Yeah.
But she's only going to make herself look into a bigger idiot. So it's gonna break the character down even further. But
Oh gosh.
I hope
Yeah.
not, because she's such a cool character, and I
Maybe.
want to see more of her.
Maybe Billy and Agatha will meet up with her very soon. Like, yeah, so you know how that whole thing happened? Yeah, that was
Maybe
all.
Jennifer is going to go on a killing quest to go after Agatha, because ultimately, she seemed like she wanted to kill Agatha once she got her powers back, but she was sucked away from the road.
I don't know about that. Well, it's not
I
like she'll be
mean,
able to do that
yeah,
anyways, but
yeah. I mean, Agatha's dead. Okay,
um,
but we are talking about the Witch's Road itself. That was
yeah,
a mind twist. The road
that was
was
really
never.
good.
Yeah. So Billy created the road, and the origin of the Witch's Road was created by Agatha's son, Scratch, Nicholas Scratch. Like, what the? That's a
Yes,
great twist. That's a
yeah,
double whammy twist.
it's just a made up thing that she used to steal people or witches' abilities. So yeah, let's get into Agatha. I mean, this is her show, and we get a lot of reveals for her. So she did not actually give up her son for the Darkhold. Her son was destined to die. Death gave her an opportunity to keep her son alive for a bit longer. She's a lot more human of a
But
character
the only
than we're led to believe.
I wonder, talking about the Darkhold, I'm putting my theory cap back on. I know you won that theory cap for the Only Murders video show season 4, but I'm gonna take it back from you briefly. What if Agatha, when she first took the Darkhold, because we knew she took the Darkhold when she had a coven and a family. So this is during the Salem trials, and she had a kid after the fact. So she already has a Darkhold when she has a kid, is what I'm thinking, based on timeline wise. So what if she made a deal with Mephisto or with Death or whoever to get the Darkhold, and her future offsprings, she's not able to have an offspring, like I have a kid. So she gave up her ability to have a
Hmm.
kid for the Darkhold. So then when she ended up having a kid, Death came to take it from her. And maybe that's her biggest issue is, in the beginning she was willing to give up a kid for extra power, but when she had a kid she realizes her hubris, but that was her biggest downfall, and that's where the character is when we meet her broken down, angrily, and just straight evil. Is she realized she took power for the sake of having a kid, and that's where that rumor spread that she gave her kid for the Darkhold. That could technically still be true, right?
So what you're saying is
In the
this
past, before she had a
was
kid.
her second son that we were following. She had
No,
a
no, no, no,
first
no. What
son.
I'm talking
Oh,
No, no, what I'm talking about is before she even had the concept of having a kid. Maybe 50, 60, 70, 100 years ago when she first took the Darkhold, she made a promise, a deal that you're not able to have a kid. And if you have a kid, it's destined to die immediately. But then
okay.
she falls in love with Death. She has the book. She reads the Darkhold. She falls in love with Death. They have a relationship. She magics herself to have a son, Nicholas Scratch, which we see like, oh, you're made out of nothing, blah blah blah. So she has a kid,
But
but at the
it's
end,
not made out of magic, right? Because she's
okay,
like,
so
no
yeah,
incantations. You're
okay,
purely for
yeah,
me.
yeah, okay, so yeah, okay, take away the whole magic aspect, but she has a
Okay.
kid.
Okay.
She has a kid, right? But because she made that deal with the devil, him or herself, Mephisto, Death, whoever you want to call
Mhm.
it, she made a deal that she'll never have a kid in exchange for the Darkhold. So whenever she eventually had a
Okay.
kid, Death came and said, "Hey, we made that deal. You had a kid. I get to take your kid now." So she
Okay.
made a deal before she even knew what the consequence of having a kid would be.
Interesting. Hmm.
That's what I'm
I
thinking, and I
guess for
feel like
me, in that scenario, what benefit would Mephisto have? Because I could see a living child being traded for the book because he could manipulate or use that child for whatever he wants. But
mhm,
why bet the future? Like, what benefit does that make for him?
I don't know, and I think until we figure out how she got the Darkhold, I feel it's going to be a question that's going to be up in the air, and I feel like we are eventually going to get an answer to that because apparently the character Mephisto has been casted for a TV show down the road.
Oh, is it Robert Downey Jr.?
No, no, it's that would be
Okay.
hilarious, but
Okay.
I'm not
You
going to
never know.
spoil it just in case they want to do like a big twist on who that actor would be. So I'm not going to spoil
Okay.
who they apparently casted for it, but apparently that actor has been casted for Mephisto, and apparently he's going to be in the new Ironheart TV show coming out late next year. Which I don't know how Ironheart has to do with Mephisto, but
Hmm.
it seems like Marvel is slowly trying to connect everything into whatever the next big Avenger movie is going to be slowly.
Okay.
So they're trying to wrap up loose ends. So maybe we can see some kind of magic. If Mephisto is going to be in Ironheart, maybe we get some magical references in that show.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, what was your
So
take, I guess, on the final fight between Agatha and Rio?
yeah, that was very quick. It did not feel like that was the objective. I think the story was more the narrative than the actual fight, which I was okay with. We end up getting Agatha sacrificing herself to protect Billy. That seems interesting to me. There's one thing that still bothered me when earlier, episode 3 or 4, Aubrey Plaza's character mentions to Agatha, he's not, or it's not
Hmm.
him, implying that it's not your
It's like,
son.
yeah.
But why would Agatha have ever thought that.
I mean, Agatha also mentions too in episode 8, the finale. She mentions to Billy that he reminds her of her son, and maybe it could have been just hope. It could have just
Mm,
been the fact that she was trapped in
a
Wanda's prison.
reincarnation in a sense.
Prison,
Okay.
yeah, she was trapped in Wanda's prison for who knows, like in her mind, who knows how long she was trapped in it. It might have been only a month in the real world, but she was loopy in the season, couple episodes. She was still kind of out of it, right?
Was she trying to use the Scarlet Witch's power to bring back her son? And she thought
Hmm,
somehow her son's soul found a new
maybe.
host.
Yeah,
Hmm.
maybe that could be interesting. Huh. I would definitely want to see more exploration on that.
Yeah.
I think my biggest complaint with the Agatha All Along show is the title is Agatha All Along, and it's a joke on the fact that this show went through about 5 different title changes before they landed on Agatha All Along. But it felt like kind of a Billy all along
All
because
along.
Billy's the one who created the road. Billy's the one who ended up killing half
Yeah.
the Coven members, and Billy was the main purpose on finding Tommy. He was the main
Yeah.
focus of the show. Well, Agatha was the protagonist, but she really did take a back seat the last half of the show until obviously the
She did.
finale with her backstory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, which is kind of cool because the same thing happened in WandaVision where
Yep. Agreed.
she kind of stole the show, and in this show, Billy kind of stole the show, in my opinion. When
No,
do you
for
think we're going
sure.
to see Billy next?
Man.
And I guess in that case, Agatha, because now they are working together.
Hmm. I'm not sure in what capacity we'll see them. I hear there's a Vision TV show coming up, right?
Yeah, I think it's called Vision Quest. I
Yeah,
think.
so maybe something to do with that. We'll see
Yeah, it'd be
them
kind of
team up or
cool.
something.
That'd be kind of cool if Vision Quest has to do with Vision and Tommy. Like
Yeah.
somehow Vision finds Tommy and they have like their adventure, and then at the end you actually get that reunion to build into whatever they want to do next.
And then they
That'd be kind of
finally go looking for Wanda, see if she's dead or not.
Jesus. Gosh, bring back Wanda. Like she is not dead. Like stop teasing. Like that was a great line though.
That
Tommy
was a very
asking, "Is
funny line.
Wanda alive?" Yeah, she's dead. No, maybe. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
MCU, Marvel, Kevin Feige, they know for a fact she's not dead. She's not dead.
Yeah.
You can't kill off the Scarlet Witch within half of a movie for being a villain. Like she's a greater character than that. Like,
Yes.
and
Did
she
you have
still
any
needs to get her.
questions coming
Oh
out of
yeah, I guess
this?
focusing. Did Agatha redeem herself in your eyes? Is she still a villain? Would you consider her an anti-hero? What is she at this point?
She's very self-centered and she will use
Hmm.
whatever she can. But she does have a humanity part of her.
Yeah,
I don't know, that kind of falls in the anti-hero realm, right?
but she did make a point to mention when she created the Covern in Westview in the season premiere. She was going to bring them into her downstairs basement just to kill them
Yeah.
to get her powers. So she
Yeah.
had no. She knew the road wasn't going to work. She wanted them to strike her, and we saw her
Yeah,
in the
she did that on a
1700s
repetitive thing.
and
Yes, yes.
1800s and all that. Yeah, she used to bring them down, tease them with the road. They couldn't open it. She mocked them for not being able to open it. They used her power. She sucked it, and history repeats. And so she's very villainous. She wanted her powers one way or another. And she was going to use the other witches to suck their powers.
Yeah.
But at the end, she did team up with Billy. So
Yeah. And I think that's why I put her in there. Not necessarily a villain, not necessarily a hero, but an
mhm.
anti-hero. It's like just
I don't know.
you
I
still
feel
classify
like
her as a straight up villain?
I would say she's a. I'm trying to. I would probably say chaotically evil,
Hmm.
but I don't know. It's very hard to explain. I don't know. I feel like she's still very villainous because at the end of the day, she
Yeah.
still just wanted to kill everyone, and she would definitely have given up Billy in a heartbeat if Billy didn't mention her son. And
Yeah.
that's kind of like she. I guess that was her. Billy's mindset was like, "Hey, you could have told Death to take me instead of my son, and how about you do that for me? Like, let me live my life. Like, because that's
Hmm.
something maybe she could have done, and maybe she thought that at that second, like maybe if I just given my stuff up for my son, he
Yeah,
could have lived his life, and I would have died, which would have been the selfless thing to do, right?
yeah. And she did say it was a calculated risk, which ended up paying up for her. But yeah,
Yeah. Um. Yeah, but overall, this show had no reason to be as good as it was. No reason.
yeah. I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I'm also interested to see what other abilities Billy has, because the ability to create an entire world, which would be the Witch's Road,
Mhm.
that's incredible power, and he did that without even tapping into his natural abilities. So that'll be
Yeah.
really interesting to see.
I don't know much about the Maximoff kids, Billy and Tommy, but
Hmm.
Jesus, Billy seems even more powerful than Scholar Riches.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of sad though that he was in hand of killing with three people: Sharon,
Hmm. Yeah.
Lilia, and who else was it? Or was it just
Uh,
those two?
oh,
Just those two?
the
Yeah,
aunt,
yeah.
the one who Agatha always forgets the name of.
Sharon and Miss Hart.
Sharon, yes. Mrs.
Sharon David.
Hart.
Yeah,
Oh gosh,
that was a great running joke throughout the show.
it
But
was. It's like who?
yeah, I'm just surprised the show killed without any remorse. Usually with the
Yeah,
MCU show,
they
who's
don't
dead
kill
doesn't really
so
die.
much. Yeah,
Yeah, so that was a very
yeah. It seems like these
that
deaths
raised the
stick.
stakes.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that raised the stakes of the show, which I enjoyed a lot.
yeah.
But I think the next TV show we have for MCU, I think, is next February or March, and that's Daredevil Born Again. So I think we have a break
Ooh,
now from
can't
here on
wait.
out, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
gonna be great. So we have
yeah.
a nice break,
And
but next
just
year is
as
gonna
a
be busy.
side note, I think AK and I might be cutting back during December. We're just gonna figure out our structure and how we want to do the videos and stuff.
Hmm.
But yeah, keep following. We're gonna come back big in the New Year's.
In
We're
the
still
New
gonna have a few
Year's,
more episodes, but
scattered here and there.
yeah.
Yeah, let us know down below what structure do you guys really prefer us going with. Do you like us focusing on the story plot as a whole, or just picking apart the plot and adding our own questions and our own inputs? Let us know down
Yeah.
below what you guys think. But yeah, thank you guys for stopping.
All right.
Like,
Peace.
comment, and subscribe. Peace, you guys.